So,
good morning. Welcome to Sigma Sport. I'm having a bike fit today.
I'm looking forward to this.
Why?
Huh? Because I think it's going to be funny.
Is this an air conditioner?
Nothing's happening.
to be totally honest, until I've seen you on the bike, I don't really know how it's going to differ. I have some expectations on what we're going to see based on your position. But no, otherwise we're just going to see what we can improve. We're going to try and make as few changes as possible, but remove as many inhibitors as possible. A little bit of pronation, pronation being the way in which the ankle joint rotates immediately towards the centre line of the body. Moving up the knees, your mildly valgus knee. Palpitations where the knee sort of tracks a little bit in like this. This is less to dictate size of shoe and more to gauge an understanding of kind of how the foot changes posture under load. And then we're looking for about 110 degrees of flexion in this test. And with you, so we have 122. Knocked that one out of the park. We've named your saddle a carbon special, because I don't really know what it is.
What do you think of the carbon special?
It's pretty special, right?
It survived Roubaix.
Won't survive this bike.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hey man, I'm not.
Don't listen, mate, don't listen.
Bike Fit Customs love lasers.
Yeah.
On the face of it, looks pretty good. You know, there's no, your arms are relatively soft, you can look straight ahead. There's a relatively smooth shape to your back. You know, there are no kind of pivot points or flexion points. There's a bit of a snap through the bottom of the stroke, and this is why, you know, this is where what I'm really looking for. Is that quality of motion. This doesn't look smooth, doesn't look circular. There's a bit of a kind of kick through the bottom of the stroke, and this is where a lot of motion capture systems fail, because they can't really measure quality of motion. All they can measure is terminal extension of the leg, and you know, other joint angles like the. This is really common. Most people, when they run their saddle height too high, and again, this is completely speculative at this point in time, but when you run the saddle too high, most people sit off the right hand side. Most people are right side dominant, right? So it's a sacrificial act of sacrificing the less dominant side, the left leg, for the right. This is why you'll end up with quite a lot of saddle sores on the left hand side. Most knee pain and knee injuries tend to occur at the left knee, predominantly as a result of some form of pelvic asymmetry. Having said that, Francis seems to sit relatively squarely on the saddle, or does he? The thing with pressure mapping, like with any technology, doesn't always give you the end result. We don't necessarily want this symmetrical either. You know, bearing in mind that human beings by nature aren't symmetrical. But what we're looking at here is 100% barometric pressure. We've got a little bit more pressure on the left-hand side than we do on the right. You know, so that kind of goes some way towards perhaps explaining pelvic asymmetry. You know, if you're sat off to the right-hand side, we'd expect you to engage more with the left side of the saddle. But that actually, as an image, is not necessarily a terrible one. However, this red line, which represents our centre of pressure, our mean centre of pressure, the line that kind of gives us an understanding as to how much the pelvis is moving. And we can see at the moment, it's moving quite a lot. Very commonly I see people come in here and the shoes are too big. Mostly because if they've got wide feet, they tend to size up in order to accommodate the width of the foot. And the problem with that, though, is that you end up with the cleat location too far forward. So if a shoe doesn't fit you, you should be looking at a different brand of shoe. If you've got wide feet, you know, looking at something like some of the Italian brands will say probably isn't going to work too well for you. So this is really about trying to understand what products might fit you as well. This isn't a particularly slender fitting shoe, but it's, you know, it's a size or so larger than, you know, we might want. And as a result, like I say, you end up with this cleat location a little bit too far forward. So somebody said like speed plays are a bike fitter's dream. I think speed plays are a bike fitter's nightmare. Any bike fitter watching this will know he's always doing this with speed plays.
Did you get from the dentist?
Yeah, I've actually been in here and found somebody with this in their mouth once. If only they knew what I did with it.
So these are not custom insoles?
No, this is it's an adjustable modular orthotic that you can change the height of the arch support and also the placement of it. We want them to feel mildly invasive. If you have arch support in your shoes and you can't feel it, it's not really doing anything.
No, of course. I mean, as you said at the start, I have quite a high arch.
Yeah,
so probably need something to fill that gap, right?
Starting position with current position in the saddle. There's less movement. Equally, so this white line represents the actual movement, and with this one, it's a bit like a Picasso. It's quite erratic. There isn't a particularly controlled or consistent movement pattern here. Whereas this is starting to look a little bit more consistent. You've got to be careful also of not wanting to see things that see things that you want to see. A little bit more pressure coming through the saddle as well. Whether that's a good or bad thing remains to be seen, but I think it's probably moving in the right direction. So saddle height's come down a centimetre. We may go further today, we might not. I guess one of the things that we need to take into consideration is that bike fitting should be a bit of a process. It's not an event. It's not a one-time thing. Because people change, and equally bike fitters don't get it right every time. This number is still, based on my experience, is still probably a little bit high.
Do you want to bring the saddle down even more?
I might do.
So far, we've lowered the saddle by about a centimetre, did you say?
Yeah.
My leg extension has stayed the same, but I've stopped pointing my toe at the floor. So, I don't know. He wants me to lower it even more.
There's this tendency, particularly amongst racers, to just take the front end as low as possible. It's slamming the front end without any real care or consideration to biomechanical ramifications.
Yeah.
I can attribute to excessive saddle height. I'm talking numb hands, numb feet, saddle discomfort,
all in that area.
knee pain, pelvic pain. I mean, you name it. Quite often, one of the things that's overlooked in reach is that most people will go straight to the stem to try and reduce or increase the reach. But the real key with reach is the handlebar. So the reach of the handlebar, it can alter the reach by anywhere up to 25 mil. So what we've done with your bike is I've rolled the handlebar down, brought the control up, which has taken a centimetre off of the reach without us having to change a single component. We've made a bit of a change to your saddle height, or your saddle position in general, running it slightly further back and slightly lower. Lower to generally reduce a bit of the leg extension. We think that your leg extension is probably a little bit on the extreme side, and that was causing you to point your toes quite a lot to the bottom of the stroke, so we've sort of eliminated that need for compensation.
Yeah.
Slightly further back to improve your weight distribution, so hopefully the handling characteristics of the bike should feel a little bit.
How much further back? Only like a centimetre?
Only about a centimetre further back. The number on your fit data is slightly muddied because we've changed the saddle as well, which is going to have an added impact of improving stability to the pelvis. And then, as is often the case, we've made quite big changes to your shoes.
Looking at the bike, you'd think no changes were made.
No.
But in actual fact, it feels completely different.
Yeah, totally different. So, the changes we made in your bike, in your session compared to Amy's, like I said, were very, very subtle. But I think that's a testament to how good the position was in the first place. Some people come in here and they don't even touch their bike, just work on their feet. But equally, some people come in here and they need a new bike. So it's never my intention to sell people bikes, but unfortunately,
sometimes it happens.
It does happen. People buy the wrong bike.
Right, that's the bike fit done. Thank you again, James at Sigma Sport. Awesome work. I feel very comfortable. I still need to collect, when they're in stock, a set of those G8s. Basically just fancy insoles, and they give your arch a bit of support. And I have very high arches in my feet, and the arches that come with the quacks are quite low. Chris is somewhere in the park apparently, so we're going to try and find him. Then we're heading over to George's to get my power meter. There's also a Zwift evening at Rafa Soho tonight. So as long as I'm not too tired, I think we're going to head there.
Hey! Hey! It's alright. I gained a really small bike. Somehow.
You've been riding that?
Yeah, all day. My bike's actually, it's in the wilderness behind you.
Have you put it in a bush?
Pretty much.
What is today?
200th birthday of the bicycle.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
What counts as the first bicycle? Is you the commentator from the Nocturne?
I am. That's who I am.
I didn't
How
see
did you know?
But I heard you the other day.
Yeah, I
saw
think
you.
everyone heard me.
I only saw you because Chris was like, I know that person.
I'm
up
glad
there."
people weren't looking at me though, because I'd had 5 coffees and I spent the entire time like buzzed, and then the DJ was playing these banging tunes and I was just dancing away like having such a great time. My boss was like, please stop dancing.
Did you have to commentate all of the races?
Yes, 7 hours, 10 races. even a penny farthing race. Are you joking? What made me laugh the most was the man wearing the aero helmet, riding a penny farthing.
Yeah.
I was like, you, my friend, are great.
What was with the guy with the Deliveroo backpack?
Oh, I loved him.
on?
Loved him.
I saw
The folding bike race was one of the funniest things. The start was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
He did the penny farthing race.
Thanks so much.
How dehydrated are you?
Quite.
You don't have any bottle cages, do you?
No.
We need to get you bottle cages.
Yeah.
We should go to a bike shop sometime.
Probably do that, yeah.
Yeah.
George is going to sort you out with an info crank. I'm going to put an info crank on your bike. I'm going to go home and get showered and get changed before tonight. And then I'm going to go and meet you probably at Rafa Daff Ding Dong for the Zwift Canyon SRAM Rider Search, I think it's called.
Hey.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
I'm very well. Very well.
How to build a snowman?
Yeah.
Oh, it's complicated
My
to
lesson
me.
for the day.
You need a... Oh, too complicated.
Yeah.
How do you build a snowman, George?
Ah, you tell me, mate.
Do you remember to take your keys down?
Got my keys.
Oh, that makes a change.
Yeah. I just can't get back in.
There's been a time in previous times where we've come down, we've met outside and George has just gone, cock, I don't have my keys. And we've had to go and buy the security guard to get in.
Tail between my legs to security and go, can you let me into my house, please?
How dehydrated are you now?
All I've had today is that tiny can of Coke.
How was your first ride in the new shoes?
Really good. They are genuinely the most comfy thing in the world. And I'm pretty sure they're still clean. I haven't taken any chunks out of them yet.
Doing better than
I've
Kim.
just jinxed myself.
Doing better than Kim.
Touch some wood.
What are you doing?
We're trying to take the crank off, but not having great deal of success. We've put it in a vice. Okay, here we go. Alright, that's tight. This is the new Shimano piece. This is the old Shimano piece, industry standard. This is a
The question is, does Rota use industry standard?
It doesn't use this industry standard. Now let's see if I've got a third industry standard, which I do.
Standards aren't very standard, are
No, I'm not.
That entire process just seems really overcomplicated.
Oh, yeah. Overcomplicated is definitely the right word.
It is. Oh!
Oh, yes. The device was named. We put the name on it in case anyone wants to know what the name of the device is.
Show us the goods, man.
One of these badgers.
A round chainring on a black crank.
This power meter is designed to stand the test of time, being used outside, training on for 4, 5, 6 years without ever having to be recalibrated. The difference between this and other power meters is that this loses no accuracy.
No suction.
It loses no suction.
Not a sausage.
Not a sausage lost. The other power meters on the market, they lose their calibration over time. So that means that the data from today won't be comparable with data from 6 months' time. So it means if you're trying to train for something and get fitter, that job is made harder because the data quality isn't as strong. So your 300 watts today is different from your 300 watts in a few months' time.
Why does it not lose suction?
It doesn't lose suction because it was built to never lose suction. It was designed purely around protecting the instrument. Other power meters on the market are designed for maybe ease of use or making them quite affordable. This one was designed purely to have the best data possible.
Does it work?
It all works,
Wow.
just the way I want it to.
How many watts did you do?
All of them. Completed it actually.
Completed it?
Completed the game.
Power meter has been installed. It's time for this Zwift evening. You ready? I'm so hungry, I need some food first.
I'm really hungry.
Bye. Are you locked out? You alright, mate?
Do you capture all the moments? Did you take a mental picture of the stimulants and concept all the visions? I see you and
Lawrence, good Lawrence. Really good Lawrence. Black is a really...
Hang on.
Look.
That is actually Lawrence.
That is an amazing dog. I founded Zwift, just talking about the relaunch of Zwift Academy. Yeah. It's an academy for Zwifters.
I'm glad you listened.
Are you a member of the academy?
No, I'm male. It's for females. So Amy, competition. I've probably got less hair on my legs than you.
So last year we had, it was a bit more extended program, as they announced just a while ago. This year it's just going to be September to December. Last year it started in June.
So June, July, August, we were given a program that was 27 workouts and 9 group rides you had to complete on Zwift. It wasn't, you know, if you wanted to do all of that in a week and you were insane and had the time, you could do it. You could structure it however you wanted. You just had to get through all of them to be considered for one of the semifinal slots. And then 12 of us were selected as semifinalists, and those 12 were all sent a Wahoo Kicker trainer and a Quark power meter. And then we were given another 2 months of workouts that you just had to do within a week. You had to do 1 group ride or race on Zwift, and 1 workout structured by Zwift Academy on Zwift, and then 1 workout outdoors. So that kind of took, not that at that stage I think anyone would have been silly to be faking it anyways, because who wants to, but technically if somebody were to have been cheating, you can't cheat with with the power meters. We went to Mallorca with the Canyon SRAM racing team and trained for 10 days and got to meet all of the team, and I think we did have some tests there to do, like a 20-minute test and then a few little race setup strategies just between the 3 of us. But I think also it was a lot about getting to know us and seeing how we interacted with the team and with the team management and with the sponsors. So it was a bit of a personality thing at that point as well. And then at the end of the camp, 1 was selected, and lucky me.
Why am I a girl? Dude, they made me a girl.
I was just about to ask if you've had a bit of an operation between now and when I saw you last week.
Well, maybe. I just don't. I'm still a girl.
You're very pretty. You're very pretty.
I'm not turning your fan on purpose, Francis. Did you win?
I think I won.
Right, wasn't it?
What did you weigh in at CBR?
70.
Chris? It's too small.
Free race shot on yourself?
I'm doing it hot pants.
You said bikes then, and you said bikes. Your bikes? Yes, small bikes.
Small bikes.
Alright, we aren't. I've been 2 minutes of absolute agony. Should I jump on his wheel for half the way?
It's quite hard when you've got cleats on and you can't clip in. Broken the bike.
Attack him! Be done.
You've heard of ripping the cranks off. This is accidentally ripping a pedal off. We've got the bike mechanics here.
Too many watts, man.
That wasn't it. Oh, I don't know what it was.
It's the one ring, mate.
It does it. It's the one.
The thread.
It's the precious.
So, we just got back. It's dark now. It's pretty late. At the Hot Chili ride yesterday, I did an interview with one of the ride captains called Juliet. She's doing an amazing challenge, all for cancer research. She's doing London, Edinburgh, London over 4 days. Please head to the description. I'll put the link to the donation page down there. Good night for now.
I'm riding between London, Edinburgh and then back to London again at the end of July. The aim is to do it in less than 100 hours. That's 890 miles, so it'll be roughly about 220 miles a day. And the reason that I'm doing it is to raise money for Cancer Research UK in their quest to beat cancer, because too many people are dying and too many people are getting ill, and we need to do something about it.
Amazing. Are you ready for the challenge?
Well, as ready as I can be. I must admit I'm a little bit apprehensive, but I've had some good training blocks recently. The weekend before last I did a 409 kilometre ride. That's 254 miles in a day, so that gave me a lot of confidence, and then I backed it up the next weekend by a 600k ride over 2 days. So I feel that I'm getting there anyway.
That's some serious mileage.
Yeah.
Have you done anything like this before?
I've ridden some ultra events before, one-day events. I've done the Mallorca 312. I did the Devil Dragon a couple of years ago, which is about 305 kilometres. But this is more serious. This is 1,433 kilometres. So it's just getting up the next day, having ridden 250 miles, and then doing it all again. So
how many days do you think it will take you?
So the idea is 4 days. I start at 1 p.m. on Sunday the 30th of July, so I'd like to finish by Thursday 1 p.m, 5 p.m, something around about there. That's my 100-hour target.
Well, good luck from all of us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.